Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben, my friend. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Victoria Tundu MQ Abiola.
Good morning.
Yes. Let's start the review with this day. Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story in Super Tuesday, aspirants narrow to Osinbajo, Tinubu, Fayemi, Amaechi, Umahi, Lawan. Yes. President wants options reduced further today. Denies anointing anyone. Writes delegates. Urges voting without bids. Controversy trails Lawan's alleged pick as Adamu shuns governors. Kalu pushes for Senate President. Akeredolu dismisses idea. Tinubu's camp insists delegates must decide standard bearer. Nnamani withdraws from race. Akpanodo Adehe quits ruling party. Appeal court stops APC from using statutory delegates at convention. Party chair chases journalists out of secretariat. Yes, the APC and its convention coming up today. The newspapers are reporting this story. The Guardian newspaper, confusion as party juggles zoning consensus candidate, while the Punch newspaper, APC presidential candidate ticket, Adamu's consensus plot fails. 21 aspirants in battle royale. Now, 7 National Working Committee members reject Lawan, Tinubu, Osinbajo, Fayemi, others who delegates. Presidency rubbishes Tinubu's claim of helping Buhari win. Nnamani steps down. I won't impose anyone. Delegates will elect APC candidate, says Buhari. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, APC boils over consensus choice. Lawan splits northern governors. Buhari denies endorsing any aspirant. I consulted president before announcing Senate president, says Adamu. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, presidential primary consensus deal collapses as delegate elect APC candidate. I have no anointed candidate. Buhari. National Working Committee divided over Lawan. Yes, the Vanguard newspaper. Consensus candidate uproar alarm in APC. Buhari governors disown Adamu over Lawan. Yes, the Daily Independent. APC split over Lawan as consensus candidate. Yes, then the Nation newspaper. Presidential ticket. Buhari disowns Adamu over Lawan. Well, there's a story below the photograph. Expectedly, the Nation newspaper is predicting Tinubu tip to win APC presidential race. Yes. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly. The Daily Telegraph capturing what happened yesterday in Parliament. Hollow victory tears Tories apart. Johnson's authority crushed as he wins confident vote and vows to battle on. But with the rebels circling to finish him off as prime minister. Yes, 211 to 148 votes. Yes, Boris Johnson escaped, but maybe not for long, because the scale of those who voted against Boris Johnson's leadership was higher than expected. You can only throw back to the days of Thatcher to get that 41% rebelling against the prime minister. Other newspapers also looking at that story. The Times of London, a wounded victor, while the Financial Times reporting that story, Johnson wounded in confidence vote as 41% of Tory MPs rebel. Now, the Wall Street Journal, Elon Musk. Musk threatens to end bid for Twitter. Yes, accusation about data on fake accounts signals a willingness to abandon the takeover. While the Texas Attorney General launches an investigation into Twitter. Now, a day of long knives.
Blonde knives.
Yes. For in the APC. Yes, as a president, finally abandoned that name he has been keeping to his chest. Or we'll see some shocker tonight. With Lawan still in the race, well, I will just wait till that convention ends and we'll see the peak. Northern governors rooting for Southern presidential candidate. Quite interesting, but I wish they had done this much earlier. But let's see, perhaps patriotism taking over or they just playing to the gallery. Ruben, Rufai, and Tundu.
Well, you make a really good point there. I was talking earlier about the different stakeholders, but the APC's national chairman, what would embolden him to the point of coming out publicly to endorse the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan? Would he do that unilaterally? Some of the papers you just read do not think so. They are thinking that Ahmed Lawan might be that person that President Muhammadu Buhari was referring to without naming. Because really, why would he do that? And how can he do that just on his own? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
I mean, Tundu, I go with you. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Why will he just do that? There's no smoke without fire. And
there's a report that he said he consulted the president.
So maybe the president probably told him something, and afterwards they threw him under the bus. Only time will tell.
Well, maybe the president is still keeping it to his chest.
Maybe the president is giving it to his chest.
But it's all going to come out eventually.
One thing is certain. Whoever emerges from the APC, finally, and Boris Johnson have something in common.
What do you mean by that?
I'll tell you. The APC as it is today is divided. Whoever emerges, the victory might not be wholesome.
They may just unite after that.
But even if they reconcile,
that'll take a miracle.
That'll take a miracle
because they want to be in power.
Because their party definitely lies in fragments. So they might just have something in common. And both of them will remind me of Pyrrhus, the king of Epirus.
Oh, the Pyrrhic victory.
And anybody that finally wins in the APC might have a Pyrrhic victory, just like Boris Johnson. Because when you look at Boris Johnson today, this is one of the highest numbers ever recorded in the vote of no confidence. And when you read the tea leaves, you know it's time up. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I dial back up to 1923 when the 1922 committee was founded. I'm not sure that anybody or any PM has gotten this intense number, 41, close to half of your backbenchers say they're not with you. And you think you can sit tight and sit on? Just like what is happening in the APC today. Anybody that emerges from this process, you think the people that we're trying to put forward, the northern candidates, you think they'll take it sitting low? You think people like Yaya Bello will close rank on time? You think other disgruntled governors will close rank on time? You think people that have spent so much money in this process will close rank on time?
APC came together in fragments.
Yes, but I see that linkage that
Legacy
you pointed
party.
out, which is why I said blonde knives. And the other linkage that I want to draw attention to is Boris Johnson and this vote that happened. Could it have anything to do with the booing that he got when he arrived for the Queen's Jubilee? The crowd outside booed a sitting Conservative Prime Minister. To go and stand outside for the Queen's Jubilee, you have to be quite conservative. You're a monarchist. For them to boo you, if they booed a Jeremy Corbyn, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. But then they booed Boris Johnson loudly. So I'm thinking the voice of the people also matters. So I want APC to also heed that while they're doing all their politicking and having all their meetings. What the people of Nigeria want should also be considered.
Is Southern president?
Yes.
Well, will the sins of the APC over the last 7 years and counting not also come to play at the end of the day?
Let the people of Nigeria decide that at the polls.
Yes, but APC wants to give us a Southern candidate. That's the promise from Northern governors. But we'll see how that pans out.
We've got to go to Dr. Abati.
Yes, Dr. Ruben Abati, the Malabite. Let's hear from you.
Okay, just to comment a little more on the developments in the APC. One of the things that we should note yesterday, because I noticed, Feni, you took a story from the front page of The Nation, saying that Asiwaju Tinubu has been tipped to emerge as a candidate of the party.
Yes, that's The Nation, expectedly.
The presidency issued a statement. The presidency issued a statement yesterday taking on Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the statement that he made last Tuesday in Abeokuta when he said he made the president president. He was reminded in that statement that no single person can claim to have made President Buhari president in 2015. That instead it was, the effort of so many persons. Would that affect his chances as, he presents himself today as a possible candidate of the party? Second thing that we also saw yesterday, yes, I share the view that it will be most strange indeed for the chairman of the APC to just go and announce that a consensus candidate had emerged and he consulted the president. I don't think, except, he doesn't understand, what he's doing, that he will just go and say that without any prior approval from the higher authority. And then, of course, the party took steps to protect itself when it went to the Court of Appeal yesterday to seek, with an ex parte application to prevent the judgment in the Court of Justice A.M. Lehman on June 3, saying that statutory delegates should be allowed to take part in the election. That was a very wise move. Otherwise, they could have, created greater difficulty for this event today. And what was said is that, look, Section 84.8 as amended or as re-amended is still pending for assent before the president. And that in any case, if they proceed, there will have been no violation of Section 223 of the 1999 Constitution and also Article 24, Roman letters of the APC Constitution. The president also yesterday made a point in another statement that was signed by Fayemi Adesina. The president was saying, delegates should vote freely. They should not vote with inducement. Well, I don't know whether the president can enforce that because, what we hear is that these delegates...
They should reject inducement. That's what he's saying.
Out for return on investment. Hello?
Yes, Ruben, you also draw attention to the fact that the Olule factor may just play out as a weakness against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No, there's an added weakness now, the Olule factor to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Will the president take that very seriously? Are his people working on that for disparaging the president so publicly as he did in Abeokuta recently? So there's an Olule factor. That's what you've just drawn our attention to.
A lot will depend on the delegates, as you see, and also the governors. Will the governors, despite the 13, 14 northern APC governors saying that they want a southern president, will they, pull a new trick out of their hearts today? Because at the PDP convention, we were all surprised when Aminu Tambuwa from the Northwest, with 193 delegates in that zone, decided to step down for Atiku Abubakar and thus strengthened his chances. Would we see the same kind of drama today at the APC convention? That remains to be seen.
Well, absolutely anything is possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
It's going to be a long night today.
Yeah. We'll
Winter
be
night,
watching.
right?
Yes.
We will be watching.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Feni.